So, obviously this is the 33rd issue of Funtime Comics. Just awkwardly with an iPad. For the last few years, the anthology out of Christchurch has been annual, and obviously leading up to annual for 2020 was, well, hey, look, we got the opportunity to do something a bit unique and actually feature work inspired from the pandemic. And as we all know, during those months of lockdown, there were lots of comics being posted online on Facebook.
No sound.
Try headphones, bud. Hold on.
Hang on. I'm gonna log out.
Okay. All right. So yeah, carry on, Jason.
Yeah. So once we made the decision to feature all pandemic-related content, it was just a matter of reaching out to the community. It was also some works I had seen during the year, actually reaching out to those creators specifically and asking if we could feature their work in the anthology. And then we, of course, had some original stuff created as well. So I'll just grab it again.
You know, you're good. I'm just being
Yeah, so, in terms of content, so for those who don't know Funtime, it's a comic anthology that's been running from Christchurch, New Zealand for 30 years. Started by a comic club at University of Canterbury, but it's continued in the format of monthly workshops, and they've just been running consistently for that time. So that's always kept the community alive, and the anthology, of course, is just the byproduct of that sort of community. So in here there's works from various people around New Zealand, the Funtime crew from Christchurch. We've got a couple of guests here. There's issue 27. We've got some guest content in here from Costa Rica, from Scotland. So very eclectic, as you'd expect with an anthology. A couple of highlights, for example, have to be, so we have a section here featuring the Spanish Lady. So the Spanish Lady is by an illustrator artist named Arthur Whelan, based in Auckland. He had created a 176-page graphic novel on the Spanish influenza. And when I reached out to him to see if he had anything to put in that issue, he's like, sorry, I don't have anything related, but I do this graphic novel.
Still no now.
So,
Mark.
Yeah, so
I can hear
we've got an
everyone
article. That's good, Mike.
Yeah.
So we actually interviewed Arthur about the Spanish Lady, and then there's a sample of about 10 pages of his artwork. So obviously that's not COVID related, but it was just very topical thing about the last global pandemic. The cover itself is by Richard Klingon, who's a GP based here in Canterbury, originally from Northern Ireland. He created a comic anthology called Jenny and These, which is all about combating, what do we call it? The anti-vaxxer movement, and trying to shed light onto why vaccinations are important.
Yeah.
So he's told a story through just comical allegory about a wee elf and her village who are plagued by these monsters that represent measles, mumps, rubella. So Richard's actually published that as his own title, and being part of the Funtime group, we were like, hey, we'd love to feature that in here. He ended up providing the cover artwork. So, there's a whole lot of sort of like, whether it's COVID, whether it's measles, mumps, rubella, Spanish flu, just related content. So Arun's got a piece in here as well. Do you want to talk about your piece, Arun?
Oh yeah. So I actually, my one was just text, this thing with just speech bubbles. So 2 speech bubbles debating, and when I was like, I'm stuck, I'll do something different. So it's dialogue between a family with no pictures, like an elderly lady, probably in her 50s, and her neighbors, no pictures. She's on phone calls. Yeah, I think there was about 24 done. I was doing 1 a day. But the thing about that was I reflected back when I was a kid with party lines and like growing up in Morawa and Kaikoi, and just that whole environment where people don't actually understand what it was like to be on the phone and have people listening into your phone calls, stuff like that. Just trying to write as a as a 50-year-old, 60-year-old woman, looking at the world and seeing what her life was, and then looking at how kids are dealing with things, how her neighbors are dealing with things, how her son's over in Taiwan, now stuck over in a hotel, and due to having to do that 2-week virus check thing. But yeah, I wanted to be part of pandemic. I mean, Funtime Comics have a little piece in forever. So to be asked was really cool. So I was really happy about that. I think this because one of the things I like about Funtime, they've done a lot of awesome things in trying to promote New Zealand comics, as NZCC has done, and I think that's the awesome thing about this. So I think that's my blurb on that.